Hello, welcome to next session. In this session, we'll solve GATE 2019 Production and Industrial Engineering paper. In this session, we'll solve only first 30 questions. Question number one is for any real, square, and non-singular matrix B, the determinant B inverse is option A 0, B determinant B whole inverse minus C minus determinant B, D determinant B. Okay. Let the square matrix is your B, A, B, C, D as shown. Okay. So the next determinant is AD, then its determinant is your AD minus CB. Okay. And determinant inverse will be 1 by AD minus CB. And now inverse of this matrix is your adjoint of this matrix divided by determine B, and adjoint is nothing but if we interchange them and change their sign. Okay, and determine B is just AD minus C. Okay, now B inverse matrix becomes B by AD minus CD and minus B by AD minus CD and minus C by AD minus CD, A by AD minus CD. Okay. Now if we find out its determinant, then it will be multiply and minus. Okay. So it will be dA. Okay. Uh, sorry. Uh, add the denominator, the quantity is same. So AD minus CB divided by this denominator scale. Okay. So it will be your AD 1 by AD minus BC. Okay. So uh, now it is determinant B inverse is equal to AD minus CB. Okay. And determinant B inverse, okay, is AD minus B. So our answer B is the correct option. Okay. Next, for a complex number z is equal to 1 minus 4I with I is equal to root minus 1, the value of z plus 3 divided by z minus 3 is magnitude. Okay. Option A 0, B 1 by root 3, C 1, D root 2. Okay. So as z is given as 1 by 4I, 1 minus 4I. Okay. So putting the value of z in z plus 3 and z minus 1. Okay. So it will be 4 minus 4I and here it will be minus 4I. Okay. Taking 4 common, 1 minus I minus I and multiply by I and I alternator. So it will be I minus I square divided by minus I square. Okay. So this is I plus and this is minus 1 and minus 1 will be plus, so 1 plus I and this will be plus 1. Okay, this will be 1 plus I. So this vector will be 1 plus I. Okay. So the complex number is will be 1 plus I and its magnitude is 1 square plus 1 square, that is root 2. So answer is the D. Next, the vector that is normal to the surface 2x z square minus 3xy minus 4x is equal to 7 at the point bracket 1 minus 1 2 is A. Option A 2I minus 3j plus 8k, B 2I plus 3j plus 4k, C 7I minus 3j plus 8k, D 7I minus 5j plus 8k. Okay. So this is the normal surface given. Okay. Sorry, this is a surface given. Okay. And we have to find out the vector normal to it. Okay. And the vector normal to is given by del pi. Okay. Where del is this curly psi by curly x, I curly y by curly j, and curly z by curly j. Okay. And pi is this surface. Okay. The equation of this surface. So pi is your 2x y square 2x z square minus 3xy So minus 4x minus 7. Okay. So now if we uh, multiply that, then we have vector product, sorry, dot product. So sorry, then we have this curly pi, because pi is not a vector quantity. So pi is so it will be curly pi by curly xi, and curly pi by curly y by curly j, and curly pi by curly z. Okay. So now find out curly pi by curly x to find out the normal equation of normal. So it will be curly pi by 2z square, and it will be 3y, and it will be 4. This differentiation 0. Putting the given point, so 1 minus 1. Okay, so it will be 7. Okay. Similarly, curly pi by curly y is your minus 3x. Okay, so at point 1 minus 1, 2, because there is no y in this and this and this. Okay, so it is only this. So curly pi by curly y will be minus 3. Similarly, curly pi by curly z is your 2x, sorry, 4x. Okay, and all the other will be 0. Okay, at this point, the curly pi by curly z is 4 into 1 into 2, 8. So answer will be 7i. Okay, 7i minus 3j plus 8. Because uh, normal vector is this. So answer will be option C. Next, if the roots of auxiliary equation of d square y dx square plus a dy by dx plus dy is equal to 0 are real and equal, the general solution of the differential equation is a y is equal to c1 e minus ax by 2 plus c2 e ax by 2, b y is equal to c1 plus c2 x bracket close e minus ax by 2, c y is equal to c1 plus c2 ln x bracket close e minus ax by 2, d bracket c1 cos x plus c2 cos sin x bracket close e minus ax by 2. Okay, the given differential equation is this. Okay, and using d operator, we can put it d square, it dy by dx d, and this will be taking y common out. Okay, so sorry, we can put d square y dy and y. Okay, now from this d square plus ad plus b 0. Okay, now finding the value of d. Okay, the value of d is minus a plus root a square minus 4b by 2a, using minus a plus b square plus a 4ac by 2a formula. Okay, finding the roots of the quadratic equation. Okay, so as the roots are equal, so this a square minus 4b should be 0. It is given that the roots are equal. um, Roots are equal. Okay, so a square minus 4b will be 0. So the roots will be minus a by 2 and a by minus a by 2. Okay, and for the equal roots, the general solution is c1 plus c2 x e is for dx, and d is nothing but your minus a by 2. Okay, so answer is um, option B. Answer is option B. Next, the solution of integration limit a1, integration limit b1 dx by x dy by y is option A ln ab, option B ln a by b, option C ln a plus ln b, option D ln a ln b. Okay, so this is option D. Okay, now the given integral is this. Okay, so first of all, integrating this back to y. Okay, so and putting the limit of y, that is b equal. So here this quantity is constant for y. Okay, so dx by dy by dy is your ln y, and limits are b and 1. So putting limit b and 1, and ln 1 is 0. So now we have integration a to 1 dx by x ln b. Okay, Similarly, now we can again integrate, so ln b comes out. Okay, that is constant for dx by x. Okay, and integration of dx by x is ln x. So putting limit a1. Okay, similarly, ln1 is 0. So answer is your ln a, ln b option. B is the right answer. Okay, next, match the crystal structure in column A with corresponding packing fraction in column B of the table. Column A, simple cubic, 2 hexagonal closed pack, 3 body centered cubic, 4 face centered cubic. Option B, sorry, column B, P 0.74, Q 0.68 R void factor. So here, simple cubic, the packing efficiency is, let us read out and match them. Okay. The packing efficiency or fraction is defined as percentage or fraction of total space filled by the constituent particle in a unit. So in a simple cubic, there is only one atom in a unit cell, and the packing efficiency is at 50%. So volume of the of that one atom and volume of the unit cell divided by volume of the unit cell is packing efficiency, and in simple cubic it is 52%. Okay. And in body centric cubic, there are two atoms. So the volume of two atoms divided by volume of unit cell. Okay. Uh, and the pK efficiency will be 58. Similarly, the here in simple cubic cell and in body central cubic cell, the dimensions of the unit cell are different. Okay. It is depending on the radius of the atom that has to be fixed. Okay. That are in the unit cell. Okay. Hexagonal closed sector, there is in hexagonal there are 6 atoms per unit cell. So, but the cell is hexagonal type. Okay, so the shape is different. Okay, so the packing shape is 74%. So hexagonal closed sector is also 74%. Okay, next, for the phase cube sector there are 4 atoms in per unit cell. So packing and packing shape is 74%. So the dimensions of the unit cell for each phase center cubic, hexagonal closed sector body centered cubic and simple cubic are different and depending on the radii of the atom. Okay, so answer is your uh, simple cubic R, 1 R. So there is only one R. Okay. So answer is 2P, 2P, 3UF, 4P. Okay. Next, the link length of a planar core mechanism R AB is equal to 100 mm, BC is equal to 25 mm, CD is equal to 75 mm, and DA is equal to 90 mm. For achieving the full rotation of both input as well as output links, the link that needs to be fixed is when the shortest link is fixed, the shortest link is your BC. Okay, then we get crank mechanism in a 4 bar mechanism. So answer is your BC. Okay. Next, the process used for producing continuous insulation coating of an electric wire is extrusion. Okay, the process used for producing continuous insulation coating in extrusion, the uh, wire is extruded. Okay, through a die. Okay, and insulation is provided. Okay, on the electric wire, and so process is extrusion. Next, the correct statement pertaining to friction welding process is option A. Heat zone is not heat affected zone is not formed. B. Flashes are not formed. C. Dissimilar metals cannot be joined. The melting of base metal is not involved. Okay, so the correct statement is there is friction welding, the melting of base metal is not involved like in spot welding and resistance welding. Okay. Next, the end product obtained using spinning process. is shown in figure. The initial blank thickness is 2.5 mm. The blank diameter is, so this is the product that dimension is 120 mm, that length and this is your this diameter is 30 mm. Okay, so and so this is the end product. Okay, and the initially we'll take a long blank. Okay, like this long blank, and it will wrapped over the surface which has to be or which is carrying out spinning. Okay, so the dimension of the blank will be summation of this. Okay, so this dimension, this dimension. So it will be L. This is L. So this is L. Okay, and this dimension is 30. This is your 45. This dimension is your 60 minus 50. That is 45. Okay, this is 45. This angle is called 30. Sorry, this is 30. So this L will be your 45 by sine 30. Okay, into 2. Okay, and this so this L is 45 by sine 30, and this is 45 by sine 30. So this is your 30. So this is your 180 plus 30, 210. Okay, so answer is your 210. Okay, so read out what I have written. In a spinning process, an object with surface revolution is produced from a sheet metal. So this is sheet metal. Okay, the blank is held against this is sheet metal blank. Okay, a foam die. This is foam die, which is rotated, and sheet metal blank is laid over the die, and sheet metal blank is laid over the die. Okay, laid over the die using a specially shaped tool or holder. If simultaneous thinning of the sheet metal takes place during the operation is called shear spinning. The total length of the final product, okay, will be equal to the blend diameter. So this is equal to blank diameter initial diameter. So answer is your 210. Okay. Next, for a classical bracket, this Wilson model of determining economic order quantity EOQ carrying an ordering cost are CR and C node respectively. For an annual demand D, the minimum yearly total inventory cost is option A root D C naught CR, B root 1.5 D C naught CR, C root D 2 root D C naught CR, D root 3 D C naught CR. Okay, so the total inventory cost is starting from basic. Okay, the total inventory cost is their holding cost and ordering cost. We are not including the price of the cost. Okay, so okay, we are not including the price of the object. Okay, so this is the total inventory cost. Okay, so, so total inventory cost doesn't involve that unit 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 price cost. Okay, price of the unit. Okay, so this is T is holding cost is your number of item average number of items that has to be hold. Okay, per year. Okay, so total EOQ is your was Q economic order of purchase was Q. Okay, so the average number of uh, inventory that has to be held, that is Q by 2, and this is your CR, your holding cost. Okay, the ordering cost, the number of orders are D by Q. D is the annual demand, Q is the inventory EOQ, and C naught is your uh, C naught is your ordering cost. Okay, so this is your total inventory cost. Okay, now for minimum cost, uh, we have dt by dq should be 0, and from this we get economic order quantity, that is your 2d T naught here we get. We can get that by differentiating t with respect to q and then putting it equal to 0, then finding out q. So this is just this with 2d c naught by cr. Now, if we put q here in this equation, we get t as this. Okay, so solving it out, we get total inventory cost is root 2d c naught cr. Okay, next. A company has purchased an asset by investing 30 rupees 30,000. The useful life of the asset is 5 years and it has no salvage at the end of its useful life. The depreciation cost in rupees for the second year using sum of year digit method is option A 10,000, B 8,000, C 6,000, D 4,000. Okay. So in sum of the year digit method, the depreciation is given by the remaining number of years divided by sum of year digits into base price. Okay. Here the base price is here 30,000. Okay. Okay. Starting price. Okay. And in the first year, uh, there is some depreciation. So the remaining number of years will be 5 and sum of year digit is your 5 plus 3 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1 is your 15. Okay, so the depreciation will be 10,000. Okay, so the similarly the depreciation in second year we have to find out in second year. Okay, so second year the remaining number of years are 4. Okay, and sum of year digit is your 15 and base price is your 30,000. So the second year depreciation is your 8,000. So answer is your B. Okay. Next, in a NC milling operation, the tool path is generated using absolute programming coded trajectory shown in the figure. So this is your this is a trajectory. This is radius r 60, and this is the points x 60 and y 120. This point is your 120 and y 60. This is a starting point. This is an end point. So it is a clockwise rotation. Okay. The corresponding block of the NC program is G02 X 120 Y 60 R 60. Okay, and B G02 X 60 Y 120 R 60, C G03 X 60 Y 120 R 60, D G03 X 120 and Y 60 R 60. Okay, so here there are two codes in this these options G02 and 03. As we are going in clockwise direction, so we will use 0, G02 because and for anti-clockwise it is G03. Okay, so and we will use the starting point. So we will use the end point. Okay, the end point is your 120. Okay, so x is your 120 and y is your 60. Okay, and our radius then we will use radius. Radius is your 50. Okay, so this is the corresponding load. So answer is your C. Final point coordinate, radius, and the interpolation. Next, SQC charts are based on the binomial distribution in P chart. Okay, the capacity. These are the choice-based questions. The capacity of passenger airlines is expressed in terms of available option D, available seat miles. So REL chart is used in facility management. Okay. Next, a metallic rod of diameter D note is subjected to tensile test. The engineering stress and true stress at fracture are 800 MPa and 900 MPa respectively. The ratio of rod diameter at fracture df to initial diameter d naught is round up to 2 degree. Okay. The engineering stress is your 800 MPa. Okay, and two stress is your 900 MPa. Now we have the relationship between two stress and engineering stress. That is sigma t is equal to sigma bracket 1 plus epsilon. Okay, where sigma t is two stress, sigma is engineering stress, and epsilon is the engineering strain. And other, if we use epsilon t, then it is two stress. Okay. Now sigma t is your 900, okay, and sigma is your 800. Putting the values, you can get your engineering strain. Okay. Now the two strain relationship, the relationship between two strain and simple strain or engineering strain. So two strain is your epsilon t ln 1 plus epsilon. Okay. Epsilon t is nothing but sorry. From this you can get epsilon t. So that is by putting the point epsilon is equal to 0.125 we get epsilon t. Now epsilon t is nothing but ln lf by elevation. So lf and we are assuming that the volume remains constant. So lf by li is your ai by af. Okay. So this is ai by af epsilon to putting now in terms of diameter we will have di square by df square. Okay. So 2 will come out here. Okay, so ln di by df, ln di by df. Okay, so this is so di by df is 1.0606. So df by di is 0.948. Okay, here the formula based question. So you have to remember sigma t is equal to sigma 1 plus epsilon and epsilon t is equal to 1 plus uh, ln 1 plus epsilon and this volume remains constant. Okay. So and epsilon 2 strain is your ln lf by lf. Okay. Next, a heat pump is to supply heat at the rate of 10 kilowatt to a building to be maintained at 22 degrees Celsius. The outside temperature is 2 degrees Celsius. The minimum power required to run the heat pump is so assuming that assuming the ideal condition. Okay. So in ideal condition, the COP of the heat pump is given by Tmax divided by Tmax maybe Tmax. So COP is given by so putting the value of Tmax is your 22 degrees Celsius or 22 plus 273 degrees Celsius, and the difference in temperature is your 22 minus 2, that is 20. So COP is 295 by 20. Okay. So and heat supplied by the pump is your 10 kilowatt. Okay, so but COP is given by Q by W. Okay, and putting this Q is equal to 10 and equating this you can value W is your 0.6779. Okay, next. So heat supplied by the pump is your heating effect or okay heating effect. So that is Q and work done by the pump is W. Okay, next. 1 kilogram of air is compressed at constant temperature of 150 degrees Celsius until its volume is halved. Considering gas constant R is equal to 0.287 kilojoules per kilogram per Kelvin for air, the magnitude of heat rejected in kilojoules in the compression process is dash round of to 2 decibels. Okay. Now using first law, we have to find out magnitude of heat rejected. Okay. So According to first law, we have this. Okay. Now, uh, as it is a constant temperature process, so internal energy is zero. Okay. So U1 to is zero. So whatever work is done that has been rejected. Okay. So work done is your PdV, V2 by V2 and V1 are limits. Okay. And P is your nothing but MRT by V. MRT and it is dV by MRT by V, sorry. So R and T are constant because it is a constant process. So dV by dV. dV by V is your integration between V2 by V2 to V1. So we have work done as MRT ln V2 by V1. Now V2 by V1 is your 2 compressed to, oh, sorry, V2, V1 by V2 is your 1 by 2. Okay. Now R is 0.287, M is 1, and or in kilojoule is 0.287 into 1000, and T is your 150 Celsius, or in Kelvin it is 273 plus 150. So putting these values, we can get your get it as minus 84148. So that is the Q also, that is heat rejected. Okay, so in kilojoule it is 84.148. So answer is, as heat is being rejected, so it is so changing a sign. Okay. Next, in the equation, the sign has to be considered, but when it is asked that heat is being rejected, so we have to take the positive. Okay. He has already assumed that heat is being rejected. Okay. It is has been, it does not ask that the heat is being transferred. If we ask that heat is being transferred, then we have to take a sign also, because he has asked heat is rejected, so you need not to take sign. Okay. Next, for the abrasive jet machining process, the ratio of abrasive volume to carrier gas volume is 0.25. The further the ratio of abrasive density to carrier gas density is 25. The mass ratio of abrasive to the mixture of abrasive and carrier gas is dash round off to 2 deciliters. Okay. Now, the volume of abrasive to volume of gas, volume of abrasive, ratio of abrasive volume to volume of gas is 0.25. Okay, so this is 0.25. Now, and the ratio of density of abrasive to density of gas is 20. Okay. Now we have this ratio. Now we can get mass of abrasive to mass of gas. So mass of abrasive is just rho FU into VFU. Okay, divided by mass is rho into density. Sorry, mass is into rho into volume. Okay, and here it is also rho into volume. So it will be 25 to 0.25. So the ratio of mass is here 0.65. Okay, now so as we have ratio of mass. Okay, so adding mass abrasive to gas. Okay, so gas to abrasive is your 0.16, adding 1. Okay, so mass gas plus mass abrasive divided by mass abrasive, or again inverting mass abrasive by mass. Total volume is equal to 862. Okay, so the ratio of mass of abrasive to mass of mixture is 0.862. Next, in a typical turning tool life test, the following data are generated for tools A and B. Tool name A and B, cutting speed 200, 150, tool life 20 and 58. Assuming same tool life for the tools, the value of constant in Taylor's tool life equation with cutting speed in meters per minute and tool life in minutes is uh, dash rounded up to 2 deciliters. Okay. So now from the Taylor's tool life equation we have V T is for n is equal to 1. Okay. So in first when take first two, okay, that is where V is 200 and P is your 20, okay. So we have this one, and in second we have this, okay, same to life, okay. For the same to life epsilon and for the tools, the value of constant, okay. Now here uh, for the same to life exponent, the value of exponent is same and value of constant is same, okay, for both the two, okay. So dividing the two, we will have 20 by 50 raised to n, okay. So n ln uh, taking ln both sides n ln 20 by 50 and ln 150 by 200, okay. So value of this is this minus 1.0647 and the value of this is 0.28756. Okay, so n is here. This now putting the value of n we can just see. Here it is given that the for same tool life the exponent for the tools and value of constant. Okay, it means value of exponent means n is same and value of constant means c is same for both. Okay, so n is your 0.2709 and c is your 449.319. Next, the average proportion non-conforming of 20 samples, each of size 100 items, is 0.12. Okay. The upper control limit for the relevant chart is round off to the decimal as a fraction defect are given. Okay, so fraction average is given, so that is NP is 0.12. So NP is 0.12. Okay, so upper control limit is your NP plus 3 root NP 1 minus NP by N. So NP is 0.12. So 1 minus NP is 0.86. Okay, so N is 100. Okay, so NP is 0.212. So you see here is 0.271. Okay, next. For a process which is the which is in the state of statistical control within plus minus 3 sigma, estimated process standard deviation sigma is 0. The specific limit for the corresponding product are 100 plus minus 7 mm. The capability ratio is PRE, round up to T3 resolution. The capability ratio is given as 6 sigma divided by upper limit, upper specification limit and lower minus lower specification limit. Okay. And here 3 and sigma is your 3 mm, so 50 is equal to 3, and the upper specification limit is 100 plus 7, 107, and lower specification limit is your 100 minus 7, that is 93. So putting the value we can get 1.28571. Okay. Next, in a work study experiment, the normal time was recorded as 140 seconds with a rating of 100% considering 2% allowance. The standard time in seconds is dash round off to 1 decimal place. You know the standard time is normal time into rating plus allowances. Okay. Here the normal time is 140 and rating is 100%, so 100 by 100 is 1. Okay. Plus allowances uh, allowance is 2% of the standard time. So allowance is wait. Sorry, allowance is 2%. Okay, and of normal time because a rating of 100% corresponding 2% allowance. Okay, so it is on normal time. So it is 140 into 2%. We have to calculate the standard time. Okay, so it is 140 into 2 by 100. So answer is 142.8 minutes. Next, a warehouse has a loading dock. Add three persons for loading operation. The arrival rate of truck follow the Poisson distribution with a mean of 4 trucks per hour. The average loading by by 3% together per truck is exponentially distributed with a mean time 10 minutes. The charge of the truck per hour and loading charges per person per hour are rupees 20 and rupees 6 respectively. The total cost in rupees per hour is. So we know that the mean time for a truck in the system or the mean time of customer in the system is 1 minus mu by delta. Okay. So where mu is service rate is your um, service rate is one truck is carried out. One truck is service in 10 minutes. So uh, uh, so six trucks can be serviced in 1 hour. Okay, so service rate is 6 per hour. So arrival rate is there given that 4 truck per hour. So 4 truck per hour is arrival rate. Okay, so the mean time for a truck in the system is your 1 minus 6 by 4. It is 1/2 hours or 30 minutes. Okay, so there are uh, so for one truck will remain in the system for 30 minutes. So it means there are two trucks in 1 hour that will remain in the system. Okay, so cost of the truck, charge of the truck per hour is your 320. So there are two trucks, so there is the cost is 40 and there are 3 person required. Okay, and for one truck uh, or for 30 minutes and for uh, and the charge of the person is just 6 per hour. Okay, so it means there are 3 person required for 2 hours. Sorry, for 1 hour. Okay, and the charge is just 6. Okay, because one truck has to uh, loaded or unloaded or serviced by 3 person, and one truck takes 3 minutes, and the same person can load and unload the other truck in another 30 minutes. Okay, so number of person is 3 and charge per hour is 6. So the cost of labor per hour is 18 hours. So the total cost is 40 plus 18, that is 58. Okay, next, the Laplace transform of E omega t is 1 minus 1 divided by s minus omega. The Laplace transform of t cos hyperbolic t is option A 1 plus s square divided by s square minus 1 square. B s s t divided by s square minus 1. Okay, and C 1 minus s square divided by s square minus 1. D 1 plus s square divided by 1 minus s square. Okay, we know that the Laplace transform of cos hyperbolic is here s square minus 1 divided by s square minus 1. Okay, and the general formula for Laplace transform is LTN A if A is your cos hyperbolic. It can be anything. Okay, then we will take uh, the here minus 1 raised to power whatever will be the power of t n into d n a divided by ds n. Okay, so here n is your 1. Okay, because we have to solve this. Okay, so n is your 1, so minus 1 raised to power one is 1 minus and b s minus s square by ds. So differentiating it, so using divided rule s square minus 1. So it will be s square minus 1 into 1. Differentiation with this is 1. Okay. And differentiation this is 2s. Okay. Minus s 2s. So minus s square minus 1 minus 2s square. So minus s square minus 2s square is your s square minus plus 1. So this is your answer is your option A. Next, the general solution of the Cauchy-Euler equation is x square d square y by dx square minus 7x dy by dx plus 16y is equal to 0. Option A, uh, y is equal to c1 x square plus c2 x 4. B, y is equal to c1 x square plus c2 x minus 4. C, y is equal to c1 plus c2 ln x x 4. D, y is equal to c1 x 4 c2x minus 4 ln x. Okay, so this is the Cauchy-Euler equation. Okay, because here is x, here is x, and here is y. Okay, so this can be solved by taking substitution. If you substitute x is equal to x80, so we have to substitute this. Sorry, x dy by dx as dy, and x square dy square dx square as d minus d1 y. Okay, and where d is your total d by dt. Okay, now substituting here dy. Okay, here it will be 7 d bracket d minus 1 y. Okay, and y another your 60. Okay, substituting it here d minus 1 y and 7 b y plus 16y. Now solving it out, we get two equal roots, that is 4 and 4. So general. So as in this equation there is 0, so there is, will be the solution of this equation will be only the complementary function. So its complementary function is here c1 plus c2 t ln sorry c1 plus c2 t and e is for 40 as b is your 4. Okay, now now t is your ln x. So this is ln x. Okay, so putting this value p ln x, option C is the option C. Next, a uniform cantilever beam ABC of length L is subjected to a point load P at point B and a concentrated moment M at point C as shown in the figure. Let E be the Young's modulus of the beam material and I be moment of inertia of the beam cross section. Assuming validity of Euler-Bernoulli theory of slender beam, the downward reflection at point C is, so this is the option. We'll find out the answer then check the option. Okay. So here P load is acting, here moment is acting, and here reactive force RA and MA is acting. Okay. For big energy is the reaction RA and moment M. Okay. Now taking moment about C we can find out RA is equal to total upward load. Okay. And taking moment about C we can find out M. So RA into L minus MA minus PL by 2. Okay. And taking moment over C minus PL by 2 and this is positive, so plus M. Okay. So from this we can find out MA. So MA comes out as PL by 2 plus M. Now using Euler's that Euler's equation, we know that E I d square y by dx is equal to moment at distance x. So this is distance x. Okay. So moment here will be RA into x minus MA minus P into is this distance x minus L by 2. Okay. So now integrating, we have EI dy by dx is equal to Rax square by 2 minus Max minus Ex minus L by 2 square by 2 plus C1. And again integrating EI by Rax cube by 6 Max square by 2 and minus Px minus L by 2 by 6. Okay. So we have to perform integration taking bracket. Okay, we did not open we did not open this bracket. Okay, we do not need to open this bracket because uh, if we open this bracket, that is the method. Okay, if we cannot open this bracket, we have to perform integration like this. Okay, so Vx minus L by 2 cube by 6, so C1 6 plus C2. So now boundary condition are when x is 0, y 0. When x is 0, slope is also 0. Okay, there are two boundary conditions. So when x is 0, y is equal to 0. So it means when x is 0, y 0, then this quantity is 0, this quantity is 0. And if the terms within this bracket come to negative, we have to take it 0. Okay, so this is 0, so C2 will be 0 from this. Okay, and when x is 0, dy by dx is 0. So this quantity is 0, this quantity is 0, this quantity is also 0. Okay, so this is coming out negative. So C1 is equal to, so C1 is equal to 0. So it means the both the constants are 0. Now we have equation as EI by RAX square by 6 minus MAX square by 2 minus PX minus L by 2 2 by 6. Okay. Now putting x is equal to L, we have to find out the direction of this one. So x will be L, okay, at 3. So x is equal to L, we have this RAL cube by 6 minus MAL cube square by 2 and PL2 by 48. Okay, now putting the value of MA that we have found out. Okay, so MA is PL by 2 by plus M. Okay, PL by 2 plus M, putting this value and solving it out. So solving it out, we get this minus 5 PL cube by 48 ml square by 2. Okay, so negative sign is for downward reflection, positive positive sign. So here, first of all, we have to find out RA and MA. Okay, by taking moment and balancing vertical per load. Okay, then you have to use illustration and then putting the boundary condition that at fixed length the slope is 0 and the friction 0. So C1 and C2 are 0. Okay, so and then we can find out deflection by putting x is equal to L. Okay, next. Three Carnot engines E1, E2 and E3 operate as shown in figure. T1 is greater than T2 is greater than T3. So this is the reservoir QH1, QL1. Okay, this is reservoir 1, this is reservoir 1, W1, QH1, QL1. This is reservoir 2. Yes, it is QH2. This vector is QL2. The reservoir 3. Okay, so here the reservoir is T1 and supplying it QL3 and W3 version QL3 is efficiency of engine E3 in terms of efficiency F1 and efficiency 2 of the engine E1 and E2 respectively. So efficiency of engine is W1 by QH1. W1 is, sorry, if they are Carnot cycle, okay, then the W1 is there, then the efficiency can be written as TH1 minus TL1, TH1 minus TL1 or T1 minus T1, T2. This temperature is T1, this is T2, T1 minus T2 by T1. Similarly, the efficiency of 2 is your T2 minus T3 by T2, and the efficiency of 3 is your T1 minus T3 by T1. Okay. Okay, now taking from options, now we have for second take second option. So efficiency 1 efficiency 2 and efficiency 1 and 2. Okay, so this efficiency 1 is your T1 minus T2, T1, and efficiency 2 is T2 minus T3 by T2. Okay, and product of this. Okay, now taking LCM and solving it out, we get T1 minus T3 by T1 to answer the efficiency of this engine is T1 minus T3 by T1. Okay, so answer is the 2. You have to check the options. Okay, next, true centrifugal casting in horizontal configuration is to be used for casting a metallic cylinder with outside diameter 0.275 meter and experienced by rotating cast metal reader. True centrifugal casting process in horizontal configuration is to be used for casting metallic cylinder with outside diameter 0.275 meter and inside diameter 0.250. The G factor ratio of centrifugal force experienced by rotating cast metal to its weight is 65. The acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 meter per second square. The minimum rotational speed required in RPM is closest to option A 325, B 650, C 975, D 1300. Okay, the G factor is 55. G factor is nothing but centrifugal force divided by weight of the cast metal. Okay, that is given as 65. Okay, now centrifugal force is m omega square r, and m is sorry, m is m can cancel out. Okay, so this will be omega square by g, omega square r by g. Okay, now r is so now omega square r by g is your 55. Okay, so r we have to take the outer radius. Okay, because centrifugal force is provided by this. Okay, so in the centrifugal casting we have to take the outer radius because that is the radius that is pushing the that is providing the centrifugal force and pushing the metal outward. Okay, so so you have to remember that in centrifugal casting we have for the centrifugal centrifugal force the outer radius has to be taken because uh, and we need not to take any radius because there for confusion that outside diameter and inside diameter are given, so there is no need to consider inside radius. Okay, so take only the outside radius, so find out omega. So this is omega. Omega is your 58.09, and then the RPM is your 650.62. So that you can check from the derivation. Okay, that in centrifugal casting, the outside radius provide the centrifugal force. Okay, that pushes the all other material. Okay, uh, outside towards away from the center. Okay, okay. Remaining 31 to 55 is solved in the next session. Okay, thank you very much.